turn our backs, just you and me. Just you and me.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Molly. I obviously am engaged because, as you can tell by the title of this video, this is my wedding series and I'll be posting tons of wedding content. There are already a bunch of really fun videos, so make sure you click the subscribe button and go check out all the previous videos. So a few months back, after I got engaged and been posting a bunch, I said on Instagram that I would post a video talking about the meaning behind our wedding date, which is 8/21/21, and I thought today would be the perfect day to film this video and upload it because today is John's birthday, my fiance, and his birthday actually ties in a lot with our wedding date. So this is kind of a crazy story, so if you like crazy stories that are like meant to be type stories, or if you believe in science and all that, definitely keep watching because I think you'll find this really interesting. So I'm not sure what you guys believe, but I personally believe in signs. I take like everything as a sign. I don't know why, it's just how I view the world and view like things that happen to me and stuff. I always feel comfort when I find a sign, and like for my family and stuff, like number 21 is kind of a big deal, and we'll get to that, but so like whenever I see that, it's kind of like a good omen and stuff. So I personally believe in signs. If you believe in signs, you're gonna find this story really cool. So I did also want to give a little like, I feel like, what do you call it, like a trigger warning or something at the beginning of this video, just because if you've ever lost a sibling or lost a child, this may be hard to listen to, but I just wanted to throw that out there so you don't watch this and then, I don't know, you know what I mean? I just want to put that out there, so just fair warning. So to fully explain this story, I kind of got to go back in history and explain my dad's childhood and stuff, because that is like the basis of this whole story. So my dad was one of 6 kids. He unfortunately lost 2 of his siblings. I cannot imagine losing a child, let alone losing 2. Can't imagine losing a sibling. It's horrible. So that's where my name came from. I'm named Molly after my Aunt Molly. She was 8 and my dad was 9, and she got hit by a school bus, which hard to even say. So tragic, so terrible. Cannot even imagine that. But so that happened. Then when my dad was, I think he was like 19, he was with my mom at the time. His brother Johnny was 16. He got in a motorcycle accident. He unfortunately passed away too. So that all happened. Everyone always asks me, whenever I tell people that, people always ask me like, how is your dad normal, or how is he the way he is? Because if anyone's ever met my dad's like the most upbeat, happy, like fun-loving type person. You would not expect him to have that type of history. And I think this is actually like a good lesson, and this is something I think about all the time, that like you truly have to have compassion for other people, because you have no idea what someone has been through. And the fact that my dad has been through all that is just shocking, because he is such an upbeat and happy person. So I don't know, the way I view it is like he chose to live in the light rather than the darkness, and he chose to go on living his life and honoring his siblings, and he just chose, like, you just have to move forward and you have to live your life, because there's nothing you can do to bring them back, or, you know, so you just have to go on living your life. And he did that, and he gave my brother and I a great life. And yeah, you just would not expect that. If you've met my dad, you would not expect that to be his history. So the meaning behind the number 21 is 21 was my Uncle Johnny's hockey number. So that kind of became like our family's lucky number. Jake had that number in hockey. It was kind of just like Uncle Johnny's number, and then that became our family's lucky number. So I consider that like my lucky number too, and so that is where 21 came from. And then this is where we will get into like the meaning of our wedding date, 8/21/21. So obviously 21, that's why our wedding date is 8/21/21, because the 21 was super important, and John also proposed on 12/21. So we've got that 21 in there everywhere. So basically, my Uncle Johnny and my fiance John have a ton of similarities, and there's one crazy one at the end that I'll say that was like the icing on the cake, where I was like, okay, I know he's the one. But so first off, I mean, simple, they have the same name, which obviously John's a very popular name, so yep, they have the same name. And then, I mean, they're both athletic, both played sports, both played hockey. Both my Uncle Johnny and my Uncle John both went to St. John's Prep for high school, different locations, but still went to the same high school, so kind of another similarity. Another thing I always think about is like now my dad, in a way, kind of has back like a Molly and a John, because like I'm named after Molly and there's so many similarities with John, so I don't know, that's just kind of another like crazy thing that I think about sometimes. But the craziest part of this whole story and how I know that John and I are meant to be, I don't know if you guys would take this the way I took it, but to me it's like a sign from God, a sign from my Uncle Johnny. And this, I found this out when I was on my way to go visit my grandma, my dad's mom, who was in the hospital. We were going to see her, and a few days later was going to be John's birthday. So I said to my dad, like we started talking, and I said that it was John's birthday coming up. And my dad was like, oh, what's the date? And I was like, March 23rd. And my dad was like, pretty sure that's Uncle Johnny's birthday. Like, obviously he knew, but he was like, let's go ask Nanny to be sure. Like, obviously he knew it, but yes, we went there, we talked to her, and turns out my fiance John and my Uncle Johnny have the same exact birthday. So out of every single day that they could have been, that my fiance John could have been born, turns out he was born on the same day as my uncle. So I don't know what that makes you feel, but to me it was like a sign. And I don't know, I kind of took that as like, obviously I've never met my Uncle John, I've never met my Aunt Molly, but to me that was like, I don't know, like a gift from them, or like somehow them telling me that like John was the one and that like I was in good hands and I was gonna have a good life with him. I don't know, I just took that very to heart and I took that very seriously. And so that is my sign that John and I are meant to be. And then that's why the number 21 is super important to John and I, because of my Uncle Johnny. So yeah, so I hope you guys found that story interesting and cool and just makes you feel good. I don't know, that story always makes me feel really good because it's just so crazy. And I don't believe in coincidences in life. I believe everything happens for a reason. That's why I believe in signs. And yeah, that was a pretty big sign that I couldn't ignore. So definitely think he's the one for so many reasons, but obviously that's a big one. So if you guys have ever experienced anything like that before, or had any big signs, or know that your partner's the one because of a sign, definitely leave them in the comments below, because I think stories like this are so cool. And it's really cool to know that like this actually happens, and that things do happen for a reason, and that there is like a higher power, and that there is like, once people are gone from this earth, doesn't necessarily mean like their soul is gone or that they're not still with us. To me, that shows that my Uncle Johnny and my Aunt Molly are with me all the time, and I hope my dad and his family all feel the same way, because I think that's something that you can't ignore and that is clearly true. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Again, definitely subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna be posting a lot more wedding content. Hope you guys liked this story. I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.
Try.